Hi everyone. So today we're going to talk about what traits should we look for in a partner or when we're going dating to determine if somebody has the basis for a good partnership. And the reason that I decided to do this video today is because, in talking with my clients or remembering, my single days, it's really hard to know what exactly to look for in a partner, particularly if you have never had a relationship that totally worked. Then how do you know what to look for? So let me give you some good tips and ideas before we start. Make sure to click on the subscription button below or the notification bell so that you're notified every time there's a new video. Okay, so the very first thing to look for in a partner is honesty. Now, it might take you time to actually know if this person is honest or not, but I think that's just a good criteria to go by in general, is that it takes time to really get a feel for a person, because you can't know until you've known a person for a little bit if they are honest. But honesty is really the base of a healthy relationship, because trust is based upon honesty. So if you're with a partner who is not honest or who's not truthful, this could bring up issues of lack of loyalty. This could bring up issues of paranoia in you because you might not know when you can or you can't trust them. It will bring up jealousy. Of course, we have all kinds of personality types out there, and you might meet somebody that's more like a fun-loving, social, frivolous person, and maybe they have a tendency to sometimes fib a little. So there is definitely boundaries around what a 100% honest person is, but I think we all know what the criteria for just being a basic, decent, honest person is. The next trait that is really important, and this one you'll be able to tell pretty quick even in your first dates, is this person respectful? And to know if they're respectful, one of the ways you can tell is, does this person respect your boundaries? If you don't want to get intimate, do they respect that as you go? If you need a certain spacing, are they respectful of that? If there are certain things that really bother you, even though it's not something that bothers them, are they going to respect your boundaries and what your needs are? So noticing how they treat other people in general, whether it's a boss or a family member or a friend. Are they respectful of others? Are they respectful of others' property? Are they respectful of others' time? Just a general, are they in general a respectful person? Because remember, your partner, you're looking for somebody that's going to become your family. Perhaps you're going to want children. Perhaps you're going to live together. So being in a relationship with somebody that's respectful and has integrity will really change the quality of the relationship and your life. Whereas being with somebody that is not respectful can be really, really hard to live with in the day-to-day and uncomfortable. Okay, next personality trait. Is this person open? Can you have open conversations? Can you talk about things freely? Or do they, are there places they won't go with you? Are there things they won't talk about? Do they even get upset if you try and open certain conversation topics? Are they judgmental of others? Can you have an open conversation about your deep emotions? Are they open about their feelings and emotions, or are they the type of person that isn't really going to let you in and know what's going on with them? Because that can be very difficult to deal with in relationship. In the beginning of a relationship, we often have more, you'll see right away, are you guys able to have different kinds of conversations? And, an openness is not the same as a person being extroverted. The fact that a person is not very talkative or entertaining or doesn't talk a lot does not mean that they're not open. Open is if you want to talk about something, you bring it up, will they engage in the conversation with you? Will they listen? And will they be a part of that conversation in a pleasant manner? That is what I mean by being open. The next trait is independence. Is this person independent? Do they have the skills to take care of themselves? Whether that's, are they independent financially? Are they independent emotionally? Meaning, are they very needy emotionally? Do you have to call them several times a day? And if you don't call them, they get upset. Do they need to spend time with you all the time? Or if you want to go and do something with your friends or have a hobby, do they get jealous? Are they, independent in terms of, cleaning, or are they a mess and they expect you to do all the cleaning? Are they independent in terms of cooking? Can this person cook at all, or do they expect you to do everything in the relationship, if it's cooking or it's cleaning? So you want a whole person, you want a mature person, you want an independent person. And sometimes, if you're meeting somebody when you're younger, they may not be as independent depending on how they were raised or the life that they had. Or perhaps you're meeting somebody who's on a second round, but they spent most of their life married and had a partner that did everything for them. So they tend to be emotionally dependent, or can't do many things for themselves. So if you want a quality relationship, you will really do better with somebody that's found a certain independence, because it means they know who they are and they're not with you just out of neediness, but they're with you out of wholeness. So this trait of independence not only allows you to have more proper spacing and less neediness in the relationship, but just also makes you feel like this is a more whole and complete relationship. The next trait is somebody that's empathic or kind. Does this person see you? Do they care about your feelings? Or do they make everything about them? Are they always talking about themselves? Do they care about your needs? Oftentimes in relationship, problems begin to come up when we realize how different we are. Even if you choose somebody that's exactly like you, they still will be different from you in certain ways. And there are things that they like or dislike that are different from your likes and dislikes. If you have an empathic or kind partner, they will understand your differences. They will care about your differences, and they won't try to impose their ways on you. They'll also make you feel like you're important, and they'll be, gentle with your feelings, caring and considerate of your feelings, which is really important. If you've had a bad day and you're sad and you have a partner that's not empathic and doesn't care about your feelings, that can really, really take a toll on the connection and on the relationship between you. Does this person have morals and integrity? Now, this is something that we might not talk about as much, and morals and integrity can take on a lot of forms. It doesn't necessarily mean that the person is religious or that they're of a particular political affiliation or this. It just means that does this person have a certain moral code that they live by, certain, principles that they live by. They don't steal, they don't cheat people, they're not a pathological liar, they're not willing to resort to anything to make money, they're not going to use people. These are things we don't outwardly think about sometimes in the beginning, because we just assume that we have the same moral code as our partner, but these can be really an issue of contention. We can take the morals and also apply them towards, for instance, religion. If you're from a different religion, really important to talk about that from the beginning to see if you're going to have a common ground, or if there are, moral or religious issues that are going to come up that are going to be a real sore spot and put a lot of pressure on the relationship. So the next one is this person emotionally stable? Is this a person that has highs and lows and dramatic emotionality? Now, maybe you are a hot, tempered person and passionate, and you like that, and that's fine, and everybody needs to find what works for them. But do pay attention. If you meet somebody and pretty soon on into the relationship, they get extremely upset with you or somebody else, or they get very depressed, or you notice that their emotions go up and down from highs to lows, or there's constantly, you feel like you're on a roller coaster with them, or perhaps you realize that often they're unhappy or depressed. This emotional instability and roller coaster, maybe it could be exciting and fun in the beginning, but in the long run, it actually becomes completely exhausting. And it's just a hard way to live and build a life, because, ultimately you want to be striving for a certain sense of equanimity, of peace in your life, in order to be able to invest in all the other areas of your life as well, whether it's career, whether it's a passion, whether it's a hobby. You don't want to be wasting time or creating situations out of nothing. And finally, you want to be with a partner that knows that relationships take constant work, that they have realistic expectations of relationships. Many of us mistake love for passion, for a feeling in the stomach. And although this is an important component in the beginning of determining who you're attracted to, who you're excited by, this is not what feeds the consistency of a long-term relationship. So, meeting somebody that doesn't flee upon the first conflict, or doesn't act like you are the queen of the world and then 2 days later they're sick of you. Somebody that knows a relationship, it takes work. It's an investment, and it's a day-to-day, endeavor that you create together as partners. I hope this has been really helpful for you. Please do share this video with anyone that you think could use it. Also, if you have any tips or personality traits that you found have been really important in your partner, or when dating, that have been helpful in choosing a healthy and good partner, please do share them in the comments section below. Don't forget to subscribe, and wishing you a beautiful relationship and dating life and many blessings.